My name is Mercy Adukugo Amina. I manage the team at Fiduciary Services Limited, and it's a pleasure to have everyone join us today as we discuss the trends and dynamics that are shaping the lives and legacies of affluent and high net worth individuals. We have a power-packed team of speakers that are going to dissect most of the issues with respect to the trends and dynamics. And we look forward to an engaging conversation with them. We trust that you would also be able to benefit from their wealth of knowledge and experience, and that at the end of the day, we would be able to understand what the issues are around salient issues that affect families, that affect affluence and also affect their wealth as well. Quickly, I will introduce Professor Aysha Anas Iftikhar. She's the Program Director, Family Managed Business Program Center for Executive Education, Institute of Business Administration, Karachi. So she's joining us from Pakistan. Aysha, nice to have you here. Thank you so much for making out the time. Aysha is a specialist in family business constitution. She's dedicated to aiding family enterprises in their growth and successful operational transition. Aysha has deep expertise in family-owned businesses, and she's contributed significantly in numerous business success and sustainability. She has an outstanding academic achievement. Also, she has a PhD from the Netherlands Organization for Cooperation of Higher Education, and also has numerous global awards as well for her work that she does. So it's a pleasure to have Aysha with us. Yeah, Professor Aysha, thank you for joining us once again. I'm going to ask you now, when we speak about the subject of sustainability, that within an Islamic context and in the light of the maqasid of Sharia, what are the salient concerns and the issues that arise with respect to sustainability from an Islamic wealth perspective?
Good afternoon, everyone. My fellow panelists, thank you, Mercy, for inviting me to this esteemed panel. I think that's a very good question to start off the conversation on Islamic wealth management. With regards to Islam, when we look at wealth, wealth is bestowed by the Creator to mankind for use in their lifetime. So wealth is to be used and utilized and managed as stewards and custodians. Wealth is not inherited per se in the Islamic context. So humankind would use this wealth with respect to Islamic principles, with having used the resources judiciously, ethically, again in line with the Islamic Sharia principles. I won't go too much into the jargon or the specific Islamic terminology, but I just like to touch upon a concept where Islam moves away and transcends from the 3M model, or me, my, and myself, to we, us, and the community. So there is a lot of emphasis on wealth not just being created or being used for the individual benefit. Rather, the pursuit of creating wealth or wealth creation is for the benefit, judicious benefit, ethically responsible benefit of the individual. But the emphasis is beyond an individual to the benefit of others and the community and even in a greater sense, the environment and everything around. So it's a very holistic concept of wealth as with respect to Islam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. So, Prof, Aisha, we've been having a conversation around giving back, and I know that even as a fundamental concept within the Islamic space, it is all about the fact that you are a trustee of whatever it is you have on earth. So the assets are not yours; you are holding it for others. Although, just like Abdulhakim alluded to, there's a lot of education that still needs to go in. People still need to be aware. The Muslim faithful, those that practice Islam, need to be aware that within our religion, this is what we should be doing with our assets. So I'm going to speak. I want to ask you about short term and long term. When within the speaking about Islamic wealth management, how do you balance? How do you tell a client or a family to balance their short term and long term financial goals with respect to ensuring that the assets there is a longer term view as against it just being me, mine, and myself. Because like Abdul Kalim said, there is still a huge gap between us getting to we, us, and the community. There is that significant gap. So how do you balance that? Because when you're talking long term, you're talking sustainability, that's when you could bring in a lot of good that you could do for the community. So how do you advise families of wealth in being able to balance their wealth management strategies so that it's of benefit to the community?
Good question, Amina. Merci, Amina. I think for families and business, it's very important to pursue business together with a purpose other than the pursuit of wealth, just the pursuit of wealth. So, governance, instituting governance is what balances the family needs and wants and the business needs and wants along with the context of the community. So, what's important is that the family has a purpose which is bigger than their own fulfillment or their own betterment. And sustainability is enmeshed, or it's in it's inside the Islamic wealth management concept, in the sense that we are again thinking of a cause that is bigger than who we are. I'll give you an example of a family business owner that I happened to interact with, and it was just very inspiring. That when I asked him what is his purpose for his mission or his purpose for the family business, he said that I would like for every single one of my employees to have a certain quality of life or a certain lifestyle, a certain asset class, a certain secured future for not only himself and his children. So it was beyond the creation and preservation of wealth with respect to his own family, but rather other stakeholders such as employees, or even if we're talking about ESG, the bigger community at large.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. So really is a journey. It really is a journey, and that journey is a journey to find purpose, and in finding that purpose, ensure that that's what is driving what you do. as against it being the wealth acquisition, but more or less like the purpose is the one that drives you, that is the driving force between how you allocate your wealth and what importance you play on the wealth that you've been given. So thank you for that, Prof. Professor Aisha, I'm going to ask you, as we are rounding up now, what structures, as a wealthy Muslim family or individual, what structure can I employ in my giving? You're muted. You're muted if you're
Yes,
speaking.
yes,
Okay, yeah.
yes. Could you repeat your question,
Yes,
Percy, please?
yes. So what I said is that we are advising Muslim families, wealthy Muslim families. What structures would you advise them to adopt or to use in their giving?
Okay, there's several structures available, but the most important principle that needs to encompass any type of structure for giving and philanthropy is that there has to be transparent governance and what the other panelists have talked about. A very a good reporting mechanism. There has to be a purpose aligned, and the outcomes or the goals have to be set forward from the outset as to what we're trying to or what impact we're trying to achieve, and how is that related to the legacy that we're trying to develop. Uh, Islamically speaking, there is the concept of where you can set aside an amount and for charity, and then there is like a trust, and then based on that trust, then a business can be set up, and that the profits that you receive from that can be then allocated to different charitable givings or different philanthropy. We now see the approach of more towards creating sustainable employment with regards to having communities expand on their skills, expand on their ability to entrepreneurial abilities and ability to generate resources for themselves rather than a one-time giving. Empower communities, empower marginalized communities, sometimes minorities, sometimes women, to help themselves in a more sustainable way. Some approaches that can be used are social incubators, and also you see microfinance initiatives carried out by different philanthropies and different businesses, family businesses. So this is again, I'd like to repeat that the important at the outset is that there has to be purpose and transparent governance mechanisms by way of which this wealth that is allocated to philanthropy, the impact is assessed, and we are really making a difference, a noticeable difference to the communities that we are allocating funds to.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Aisha. I like I said, and almost like I'm repeating myself. You cannot underestimate the purpose, the collective purpose, the vision, and the values that you want espoused in your giving. And just like you rightly said, that also sits squarely with Islamic families as well, and within the Islamic religion, being able to ensure that there's a purpose that goes before every other thing that you do, and that is for the community, that is for the good of, or like you will call it, yeah, for the good of the community. It's been a delight to have this session. It's been a delight to speak through the trends and dynamics that are shaping the lives and legacies of affluent and high net worth individuals. Over the course of the webinar, we've x-rayed the issues of family dynamics. We've come to understand what they are, and how we could work around with the right advisors to be able to ensure that the issues that would arise, whether with the mental incapacity, diminished capacity, or declining capacity of anyone in the family, can be appropriately taken care of, as well as how we can preserve our digital assets. We've also discussed that as well. And we looked extensively into philanthropy and x-rayed how next gens, rising generations are connecting with philanthropy, African philanthropy, what are the things that drive us, as well as from an Islamic perspective as well, sustainability and philanthropy, and how we can better connect with our community, knowing fully well that we have to start with purpose. We have to articulate our purpose as a family. We have to understand what our wealth is to be used for, and we have to make sure that at the end of the day, the legacies that we are leaving, they are sustainable, and they are the ones that the rising gen will be happy to take into the future, and ensure that at the end of the day, we have a multi-generational, thriving, and harmonious family. So it's been a pleasure having everyone here. We look forward to the next edition of our webinars. And on a final note, we say thank you to everyone. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking with everyone. So till next time, thank you, everyone, and bye-bye for now.